vehicle factories here in China, sorting and holding objects. And they've also created this robot, the Walker S2, that can sense when its power is low and change its own battery.
As if 2025 couldn't get any weirder. So UBTech Robotics just unveiled its new humanoid robot, the Walker S2 robot. And it has a crazy ability never seen before in any humanoid robot that's come before it. It can change its own battery, fully autonomous. And so as if 2025 couldn't get any weirder, China just unveiled the very first Humanoid Robot Games, which hosted 16 countries competing their humanoid robots in the very first Robot Olympics. Yeah, check this out.
What does the latest in advanced robot technology look like? Well, it looks something like this. And this. Or this. I'm at the 2025 World Robot Conference in Beijing, and here more than 200 companies are showcasing their designs. The theme of this conference is embodied intelligence, think artificial intelligence like the AI chatbots many people have on their phones, except with a human or animal-like body. Hello? Hi. Well, 500,000 people have come to see the machines on display at this 5-day event. I asked this boy what he thought. 你觉得这个机器人怎么样啊？你感觉怎么样？
我觉得挺好的。
I think they're great. They can do many things. Bend down and a lot of movements people can do.
And these robots are designed to impress. They can play music. And even fight. China wants to portray itself as a world leader in these kinds of technologies. But apart from being quite entertaining, what can these robots actually do? Can they be genuinely helpful to ordinary people and businesses? Well, this firm, UBTech, says they already are. These droids are working in electric vehicle factories here in China, sorting and holding objects. And they've also created this robot, the Walker S2, that can sense when its power is low and change its own battery in just 3 minutes.
Yeah, UBTech's robot has like 6 cameras on its body. We use like a stereo camera, RGB camera. The robot will use all those cameras to perceive the environment, say locate itself in the environment, to see or recognize objects.
But how smart are these latest robots? I went to find out. Hi there, I'm Katrina, an Al Jazeera journalist. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Katrina. It's great to connect with a journalist from Algeria.
Turns out not too smart. So maybe some of us don't need to worry about our jobs just yet. But with the Chinese government pouring billions of dollars into AI and robotics development, that future may not be too far away. In fact, it may already be here. Katrina, you.
Al Jazeera, Beijing, China.
This is not your average sports tournament. At what is billed as the first ever World Humanoid Robot Games, the athletes come in all shapes, sizes, and structure to compete in events ranging from running to kickboxing to soccer. For 3 days, human handlers from 16 countries are putting machines through the motions to show the potential of embodied AI as well as its limitations. It isn't about winning or losing, but it's a way to trial the robots in agility, endurance, and battery life. Some of the humanoids are competing in more practical job skills, like sorting medicine and hotel concierge duties. That's why a team from Starbot made the trip from California. Their robots work in customer service.
Do you think humans are ready to have robots so involved in their daily lives?
I think so. As a matter of fact, our company already works at restaurants and we already have robots providing service to customers and they are welcomed really well. So I think we Perhaps not everyone, but I think we are ready as a society to incorporate robots into the environment.
The games are meant to showcase how far robotics have come and to provide a window into a future where humanoids are integrated into daily life.
But it also reveals how heavily China's government has been backing the development of these technologies to close the artificial intelligence gap with the United States. For years, Beijing has been funneling tens of billions of dollars into AI research and state subsidies, like it did with the electric vehicle industry, making all this a very different kind of race.
Videos of robots dancing, punching, and performing have been all over Chinese social media and state TV as the government has deepened its investment here. But the games are the most ambitious promotional push yet that drew a small but curious crowd to watch how next-gen robotics are taking shape. Research published by Morgan Stanley predicts that by 2050, China will have 302.3 million humanoid robots in use, well ahead of the U.S. projection of just 77.7 million. He says when robots like these gain independent thinking and behavior after training, that will be the real AI age. From what we saw here, people are not obsolete quite yet. There were no speed records being set, and many of the athletes, well, they're prone to fizzling and faceplants. Yet it's all wired to the real goal for China, getting ahead in the global race for AI domination, one clunky step at a time. Janice Mackey-Freyer, NBC.
So the second thing I want to ask you about is I want to ask you about this robot, and I'm like really disturbed by this. I mean, that was right here in New York City. Strolling down, I'm not sure exactly where it was, but as you can see, people are really not sure am I going to start seeing this? Are we going to see this everywhere?
So this is named Koid. This is a Unitree robot out of China that was set loose in Midtown Manhattan. And it had a variety of responses, mostly freak out. It went in to try on some Hoku shoes at a local store. Yeah. And people are like, what? And the guy working there was like, okay, I'll get you. What size shoe do you want? And he goes, tries it on. What a lot of people don't know is it wasn't autonomous. It's not like thinking, I think I'll go in here and get some shoes. It was a remote controlled. It was really a gimmick to get attention on the Unitree robot and also an interesting EFT or cryptocurrency that they're trying to promote related to it. But, it is interesting because it got everybody going like, what are you doing here? What are you all about? Yeah. And it's very unsettling to see a robot on the loose.
It is unsettling. And it kind of makes me think you shouldn't go down the street without being armed maybe with a garden hose.
No doubt. A garden hose, you think that'll stop them?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work.
So, but
maybe a fire hose.
Yeah, I'm not so sure anymore. It looks like it might be waterproof.
Look at the kids, the stroller, like, what the heck is going on?
Don't stop waiting. But you did say it was remote controlled, so.
Yeah, so there's a guy you're not seeing on camera here that's just near him that's causing this robot to do this. But imagine you're in your own town and this thing starts running down your street at you. No. You can feel like, what in the world is going on?
The apocalypse.
They're invading. Right, exactly, exactly.
Modern technology has paved the way for multifunctional devices like the smartwatch and the smartphone. Computers are increasingly faster, more portable, and higher powered than ever before, while some vehicles have become self-driving, self-parking, and fully autonomous. With all of these revolutions, technology has also made our lives easier, faster, better, and more fun. So imagine an artificial intelligent female human-like companion robot that was fully autonomous and could self-charge its own battery. Gone would be the days of unboxing and saying that it's plug and play, because it'd just be all play. Well, did you know that this technology actually already exists? Take robots like Romer or Amazon's Astro robot, which will automatically go to its charger when the battery is low, or you can simply say, Astro, go to the charger, and the robot will make its way to the dock. Once at its station, the robot will turn around and gently roll backwards onto the charging dock. And no, Astro is not a vacuum cleaner. but rather a companion robot. Clearly, not the humanoid robot we all dream about, with giant boobs and artificial intelligence. Sorry, that's just me watching too many YouTube videos again. But still, designed as an actual companion robot, man's best friend, that could run errands around the house while also being entertaining as a toy for kids with its smart display for a face. The robot is so much more than just the boring dog, because not only will Astro wander around the house like a security robot, Astro has an array of sensors, cameras, and mapping technology that will let the robot know where it is in your home and what's going on around it. Simply set home monitoring to away to receive an alert when Astro detects an unrecognized person. The robot will send you push notifications from the Alexa app when Astro detects certain sounds like glass breaking, smoke, or carbon monoxide alarms. Amazon believes in 5 to 10 years, every home will have a robot. It describes Astro as a new kind of household robot that integrates Alexa, advanced hardware, software, computer vision, and artificial intelligence. Then there are robots like Dolly, who is also a self-charging companion robot, as well as ACR, the auto-charging robot, both developed by the South Korean car manufacturer Hyundai Motors. Hyundai says they are introducing a new method of charging without driver assistance, whose concept says is the solution that relieves inconvenience caused from heavy connectors of electric vehicles. The robot automatically recognizes the charging port of an electric vehicle and inserts its charger and disconnects when charging is complete. Fascinating how something so simple like charging our devices or robots can also be more advanced as new technology is making our lives easier. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program and the female human-like robots. Brain time! Congratulations, you made it this far in the video. What would you do if I told you you could have 25 years of good luck? And all you'd have to do is like this video and also subscribe if you haven't already. Well, what are you waiting for? Smash that like button and you'll get 25 years of good luck. And now, back to the video. Some people say that flying first class is the best experience anybody can have, while others say it's definitely the most comforting experience you can have on an airplane 35,000 feet above the ground. And so when we think about robots in the sky, most often it's probably recalling some sci-fi anime manga or film. But actually, in fact, that notion of robots in the sky being related to anything sci-fi or paranormal or superhuman is kind of outdated. Because living in the year 2023 with supersonic boom jets that are able to fly from Vancouver to Sydney in less than 5 hours, and giant airliners like the Airbus A380, which even has a shower on board a commercial airline for first-class passengers, then the idea of humanoid robots on a commercial airplane shouldn't be so far off. In fact, huge aviation groups like the Airbus Group have teamed up with Robotics Laboratory to launch a new joint research program that aims to develop humanoid robots that will be used for aviation manufacturing. The project is called Humanoid, which stands for Multi-Contact Collaborative Humanoids. By combining Japanese expertise in hardware and robotics along with advanced French knowledge of mathematics and algorithms, the joint venture encourages initial progress in fields such as robot design and haptics, as well as tactile perception and continuous CADR. The team spoke and said building on these achievements would develop multi-contact locomotion, which enables humanoid robots to move using not just their feet, but also other body parts such as elbows, knees, and hands as a human would when crawling. A new breed of humanoid robots. While in South Korea, a company called CASE have gone beyond the research of developing unmanned aircrafts to testing humanoid robots designed to operate a regular aircraft by sitting in the pilot's seat and using controls just like a human would. But all of this is just boring, to be honest. What if we could have humanoid human-like female robots with giant boobs be our flight attendants, or have personal companion robots in first class? But if so, then you would probably want to exercise some caution around the private onboard shower on the Airbus A380. Otherwise, you could maybe find yourself being electrocuted on an airplane. Probably not the steamy electrical scenario you were hoping for, because they're robots, right? The global humanoid robot market size was accounted at 1.62 billion US dollars in 2022, and it's said to be expected to reach around 28.66 billion by 2032. And if you divide 28.66 billion by 1.62 billion, which is the market size today, that's more than a 17x, 17 times the market size by 2032. When electric vehicles first became popular in the 2000s, they didn't come without people speaking up against them. Of course, here in the year 2023, we all know how that turned out. And so a lot of the negative feedback about electric vehicles was really just coming from other car manufacturers and salesmen who weren't making or selling electric vehicles at the time. Now, of course, every car manufacturer is getting into the electric EV car game. And so one of the biggest negative things people would say, and I know because I was actually selling Volkswagens back in 2006. And one of the things I would say when someone would walk into the dealership asking which was a better choice, an electric Toyota Prius or a TDI turbo diesel Jetta? Well, I would always say, and of course it's because I wanted to sell a Volkswagen, but so I would say, if you're thinking about the future and the environment, what do you think is going to happen to all the batteries in these electric cars in 30 to 40 years when they're all just sitting in a junkyard somewhere? And today, this is still very much, and more so now, an issue many car manufacturers deal with as they find more ways to reuse and recycle EV batteries. Okay, so what does this have to do with robots? Well, we're going to get to that because although these issues are very real, the fact is the electric EV car battery problem is still a better direction for the future by lowering global carbon emissions from gasoline-powered vehicles. So if the same were said about humanoid robots, female robots, well, the answer would be simple. These robots last forever and could easily be reused and recycled. So really, it isn't even a topic. But moreover, a humanoid robot shouldn't be questioned. It's proven that robots improve our quality of life. And following the pandemic, I don't think anyone can question whether or not the entire world could use some improved quality of life. In addition to assisting people with disabilities, modern technologies, including robots and AI, contribute to the development of digital health, all while, of course, contributing to society. Robots save workers from performing dangerous tasks, and so much more. In fact, the only real threat humanoid robots or artificial intelligent female love dolls pose would probably be towards women. And that right there is truly the post-apocalyptic scenario. Rather than the notion of robots surpassing humans, rather the human race no longer populating. Of course, because these robotic human-like female companions were perfect and artificially intelligent with giant boobs. So surely women would need to step up, be more assertive, or rather, just more available. See what I did there? I really like that. Just be available. An article was written in 2018 by a woman stating that women needed to act now and fast, stating that if not, male designed robots would take over women's lives, replace them, jobs would be lost, or worse, people would stop populating. Going in that direction, male designed robots, female robots with giant boobs and the perfect bodies. Although fun, these robots surely could not give birth. Anyway, before we go on any further and dig deeper into the concerns that some women have towards the future of artificial intelligence in humanoid robots, as a man, can I say, why do women feel as if or fear that artificial intelligence in female robots will replace them? Couldn't they just be an addition to the relationship, the family, or the household? A love doll or a human companion doll with an artificial intelligent brain is a realistic humanoid robot capable of displaying human-like expressions and interacting with people. It's designed for research, education, and entertainment and can help promote public discussion about artificial intelligence ethics and the future of robotics. Robotic assistants, in most cases, we're talking about the wheeled varieties, already help care for the elderly, care by providing remote access to medical assistance, while medical staff can use them to help clean and carry out very basic tasks, freeing them to tackle more demanding work. Robots can ensure better accuracy within the workplace, which reduces the likelihood of human error. When robots work alongside humans, they can help reduce mistakes by carrying out critical tasks without humans having to risk their lives. So surely a human-like female robot would be a welcomed addition to any relationship, family, or household, right? Well, an article written by a woman in 2018 put the idea out there that algorithms in artificial intelligence were starting to show more and more male bias. Whether it was or is true or not, women would have a lot to lose unless they got involved. Further, the article continued down this road, mostly straying away but looping around algorithms and artificial intelligence. But maybe it's just that. Men look forward to a future with artificial intelligence in a human-like female companion, a robot, while women want to take that away, all while probably hiding a pocket-sized battery-operated companion of their own somewhere underneath their bed. Anyway,